Let's learn everything about crafting recipes. Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. Today we will talk about different types of crafting recipes in every mod and how we can add them in our mod. Stay tuned till the end of the video because we have lots of things to cover. Now, when you play Minecraft, there are at least three different crafting recipes that you are familiar with. Shaped recipes that you use inside any crafting table. Then we have shapeless recipes when you put two items side by side each other in the 2x2 grid in player's inventory and take something out. The order doesn't matter. Where you put these two items in that 4 grid doesn't matter. We have cooking recipes. These happen in campfire recipes, smokers, and furnaces, and blasting recipes that happen in blast furnace. Also, we have recipes related to the cutting station. So these are different type of recipes that you know from game. When it comes to modding, we have two more terms that you need to know. Recipes related to your mod and recipes related to Minecraft. Now, recipes related to your mod is obvious. It's recipes that will cover your own items, your own blocks, and how you should be able to create them. Recipes related to Minecraft is the vanilla recipes inside Minecraft, but you may want to tweak or change them based on the abilities your mod adds. Today, we will look to all of these, okay? Except maybe an ore processing recipe, stuff like that. We will come back to them later, but base stuff will be covered all here. So for creating recipes, you have two options. Like always, you have to go into your data folder, your mod ID, and create a recipes folder inside here and add your recipes there. However, you may want to use DataGen. And trust me, DataGen is the better way to go. Let's start with the simplest ones. When you have 9 ingots and you want to make a block out of those 9 ingots, putting 9 irons inside the crafting grid to get an iron block out. That's called compacting recipes. Now, when it comes to fabric recipe provider, we have few different terms that we will use. These terms do different things. For example, if I start with offer, you see that we have different commands and methods that starts with offer. If I start with create, you see again, we have different methods that start with create. If I start with shape, you see that we have offer shapeless recipes. But if I start with capital shape and we call it shaped, you see that we have this shaped recipe JSON builder. And this is how we can make shaped recipes. So shaped recipes are not part of the fabric recipe provider itself. Now, the very first one is again the compacting recipes. So we start with offer reversible compacting recipe. If we look at the overloads, we see that both of them are asking for Explorer. Now, guess what? Exporter is given to us by the method call itself. Okay, the next one, as you may see inside the parameter calls, is a reverse category. Now, it means that when we want to convert the block into the ingredients, and we can say recipe category dot, for example, building blocks. So we put it inside the category book of building blocks. Then it says the base item. This means the ingot, the minimum one that needs to be 9 of that combined to each other to make the bigger block. Here we say mod items dot, for example, citrin, okay, gem citrin. Then we are asking for another recipe, but take a look. It says compacting category. So this is when we put a recipe entry inside the book showing that, hey, we put 9 ingots, we get 1 block. The previous one was the reverse of it. We would put 1 block getting 9 ingots. So this is the 9 ingot to the block section. And we can say recipe category dot, for example, decorations, okay? And finally, what do we get out of this compacting? Mod blocks dot c3. Okay, so let's break it after this section. So we say, hey, we want to make a reverse for block to ingot, but the ingot type is this. Now, the ingot to block will be this category and the block is this. That's basically the compacting recipe for you. Of course, I can duplicate these and then I will say gem ruby, and this will be ruby, and then sapphire, and then sapphire. But we have enderite, so we say enderite, and if we look, we have ingot enderite, and the block is just enderite block. So by doing this, we added 4 different recipes for compacting ingots or gems into the block and the reverse one. Now for the cooking, we say offer food cooking recipe. Now, again, the very first one is the exporter, as always. Well, we have one method call, and that asks for a string cooker. Here, we have few different options. For example, if I say smoking, it means that I'm doing a smoker recipe. Then we have recipe serializer dot smoking. The next one, it says that, hey, the recipe factory. Well, if you don't know how to do this, because previously we didn't have this factory and all we had was the time it took and then the items that was going in and out and then let me show you. So you see this is cooking time. Then we say items dot rotten flesh. We want items dot leather to go out, and then the experience is 0.1 f. Okay, so that is the old one, the old way of doing a cooking recipe. But apparently in 124, we have this factory that we need to cover. So we just middle mouse click on this guy. And when we have this selected, we right click and we say find usages. However, in the usage parameters, we should make sure that we are showing everywhere, okay? And you see that in Minecraft itself, not my mod, if I open it, we see different things. And here we see that it has a recipe factory. And this recipe factory comes to the method here, generate cooking recipes. So other than these, we don't have any overload. Okay, let's take a look at how we are using this guy. So find usages. Oh, here we go. Take a look. So this is the vanilla one. How did I get here? You middle mouse click on the offer cooking recipe. You go here, find usages. Between the usages, outside of your mod, you see these. Click on any one of them. It gets you to this section. Now, the method call is generate cooking recipe. Go and find usages on that one. And you see 2 usages, one for smoking, one for campfire cooking. Hitting on the smoking, you see that the factory is this, smoking recipe : new. So we put it there and that's it. So if you never know how to do something that is new in Minecraft because of the API change, this is how you do it. Basically, you had some understanding of part of the code. You follow the track and you find where vanilla is doing exactly the same thing. If you look, it's generating a cooking recipe. For smoking, well, recipe serializer smoking, bingo, we are in the correct place. And smoking recipe : new is recipe factory. That's it. So for campfire again, we have campfire cooking recipe : new. Okay, good to know, because the next one is exactly the campfire. So I will copy this, I will paste it, and now we know where to look for. We have campfire cooking instead of the smoking, the time is greatly changed because, well, this is 20 seconds. I want triple of that being 1 minute. So that's 1,200. And then the factory is changed. It's campfire cooking recipe new. Now, take a look. Smoking and the campfire. Campfire is almost 6 times bigger. And I just made it 3 times bigger. If I want to, I may do it 2,400 because, well, I want to stick close to vanilla as much as possible. And this time we need to say that is, okay, I don't know where it is. Come back. This is campfire cooking. Okay, campfire cooking. And that's it. This is how you add the smoker recipes. This is how you add campfire recipes. Again, we didn't know how to change the new section of the code. We tracked it back inside the recipe provider. We found the usages here, and it was exactly on top. It was here. We found the usages of this generate cooking recipe because we know that it's just adding some cooking recipes here and there, but it is accepting the factory. So I found the usages for them outside of my mod. Well, I saw this smoking and campfire. Bingo. We found how we are providing factories for these recipes now. Okay. So if you don't know how to track vanilla, this is a brief example. We will go back and talk about it in a depth in another video another time. However, now we have 2 recipes that will convert rotten flesh to leather. Okay, so that was the compacting recipes. These were the cooking recipes. Of course, we will see some other recipes later. However, I want to add more recipes in this video because let's not forget we have some items that we can make recipes for them now. Okay, you may ask, hey, what about casts or raws or, I don't know, raw to gem, the dust, the gear? These are the recipes that will happen in machines. We will come back to these in maybe 1 or 2 or few more videos later. However, right now, I just want to make these items craftable. So the player teleport. The player teleport is a shaped recipe, means that you should put different items in a 3x3 crafting grid and get the recipe out. So shaped recipe JSON builder. And as the name suggests, this class is responsible of making JSONs for 3x3 grid. We call that create. And here you see we have 2 different overloads. One is just the category and output, and that's exactly wrong. We want this second overload because we want the count being used. So recipe category dot miscellaneous, for example, or maybe tools. Transportation is all about the rails and stuff like that. Redstone, this is not a redstone. So I will go with tools, comma, mod items. Now, what do I want as the result is the player teleport, okay? And how many should be crafted as the result? It's 1. After the create, we have another thing that we can call, and that is pattern. Now, pattern is just like this. We have 3 slots in each pattern. So if I put it like this, you will see that it's actually a 3x3 grid, okay? And this is exactly your crafting grid, 3x3. So whatever you put here has meaning. For example, if I put P and P here, I will define that input, and I need to define a character that is capital P that I used, and I want to say, hey, this is items from Minecraft itself under herb. Basically, what I did is that I told the Minecraft that in this recipe, I will use 2 ender pearls on top row, on the left and the right. In the middle, I will use E, and I will copy it, paste it, and I will say that, hey, E is ender I, okay? So it's I of ender. In the middle of the crafting grid, I will have C, and again, I will say that, hey, C is the compass from Minecraft itself. So up until now, I just used items from Minecraft itself. Now I will use D on both sides and G on bottom. So now I can say that, hey, D that I put there is from my mod, so mod items this time, dot reinforced diamond. Why not? Actually, let me double check. D is this, reinforced diamond. And finally, the last one, that was G, is reinforced gold. Okay, so far so good. Remember, anything that you put inside this 3x3 should be identified in the inputs. Okay, now we know what we are using. Then I will say that dot criterion. This helps telling Minecraft when it should show this recipe to the user in the recipes book. If we don't assign any criterion, the user may see it from the start. But we want to say that, hey, whenever we have an item, so has item, items dot compass, and we want a condition. So conditions from item, and again, items dot compass. This tells Minecraft that, hey, whenever we created a compass for the very first time, give us a warning on the monitor in the GUI that says, hey, a new recipe is opened, and the recipe that should be opened is the player teleport. But at the same time, I want extra criterions, so not only one criterion. And that is when I have ender eye. Okay, so items, ender eye. And of course, ender pearl. Why not? Ender pearl. And again, when I have mod items dot reinforced diamond. So whenever I have this diamond, that's when you should continue on this condition chain. And the last one is when we have reinforced gold. So basically, this recipe will be unlocked and shown to the user only when the user had made all of these at least once in the game, or had all of them in the inventory. If one of them is lacking, the recipe won't unlock. Finally, after all of these, now we can say offer to the exporter. Here we go for making the JSON new identifier. Get recipe name for mod items dot player teleport. Basically, we are saying that, hey, get the name of this item, make a new identifier for Minecraft namespace, give it to the exporter, and using every information we gave you, create a shaped recipe. Now, from now on, whenever you want to create your shaped recipes, you just copy paste this and, I don't know, remove few lines from here, and tweak it the way you want. If you want an empty space in the grid, you should use a space. So if you want air here or empty slot, just use a space like that, and it means that the center should be empty. So that's shaped recipe. Now, the last one in the recipe categories that everyone tells you, and we will go beyond that, is shapeless recipe. And again, we use the JSON builder, create. The first one is the category. So recipe category dot, I don't know, let's put it inside miscellaneous. Now, what do we want to make is items dot name tag, because in vanilla name tags has no recipes. It's just a loot, but I want to make them. Now here, when we are putting the inputs, instead of putting a pattern like the character and the item and then putting a pattern, remember this is shapeless, so we don't have pattern. We just need to say, hey, I want this item and that item sitting somewhere in the crafting grid, okay? And it's items dot paper dot input mod items dot rod iron. And finally, again, we have criterions. So I will copy one, and then we say items dot paper and make it paper here, Control C, Control V. And finally, we say item mod items. So I will add mod in front, and this is rod iron. Copy this part, paste it to the end. And finally, we have the offer to. So we say that offer to the exporter new identifier of get recipe name for items.name tag. However, after the parenthesis for get recipe name, I will add something to the end because this helps me in future. Maybe at future time, Minecraft adds its own recipe for name tag. Using this helps me to get out of the situation with same names for two different recipes, and that will cause error during the data generation. So you may want to add your mod ID somewhere here, but for time being, that works. And that is basically the very base things that you want to learn. The reversible compacting, the foods for smoker, for campfire, the shaped and shapeless recipes. Now, if you look at this, you will see that in the recipe provider, we have tons and tons of different methods. And if you want to find these easily, if you go into view, tool window, structure, this helps you to see every method name, and basically you can say, hey, I want to see, for example, I don't know, a fair bed recipe. So just click on the name here, the code will jump and show you the result. Now, if I go into the another class, this structure will change based on the class that I selected. And that's the fun part of it. Sort alphabetically. So now I know that it is sorted alphabetically and I can easily find what I want. Let's talk about special blocks that we created in the previous video. If I want to, I can go and drop the shaped recipes for every one of them. However, let's take a look. Do we have anything, for example, for stair? I see fence gates, fence, door, slab, stairs. There we go. Create stairs recipe. Easy enough, needs an output, an input, and that's it. So if I copy it and I come back to this and at the end say, hey, just create the recipe for me. Well, the output is mod blocks dot citrin stairs and the input is mod items dot gem citrin. And you see that it says ingredients. Now, here is a problem. We don't have ingredient, isn't it? We just have the item. How we can provide an ingredient? If we take a look, find usages. Again, outside of our mod, here we say vanilla recipe provider. Let's take a look. Here we go. We have some recipes here. Oh, we don't even need to go to the class. Take a look. Ingredient dot of items. Okay, coming back to our class, we say ingredient dot of items. And just doing that means that we can now create recipes for stairs. Now take a look at the method call. Let's see how it is doing something. So it's making a shaped recipe create into blocks. The output is the output that we gave in. It will create 4 of that. We know already the stairs. And then it says input. Character of this is the input we want. And now it says patterns. The first one is on the left with 2 empty slots, then 2 with 1 empty slot, and then the 3 of them being the same item. So basically it's making the crafting grid for us and creating the recipe. It's a shaped recipe call all by itself. So basically I could have copied all of this and just tweak the shape and everything, and I will create the recipe for stairs myself. However, this is a sugar-coated method. And if you look at this call, here's something interesting. We don't have any criterions here. So if you want to make criterions for this, be my guest. Okay, that was the stairs. Then we saw slab. So create slab recipe. Again, it needs a category. It needs the output and ingredient of input. However, if we look at the slabs, it asks for the category. Stairs didn't look for the category because stairs is just using the category of building blocks. So let's put slabs there. And again, it's as easy as saying mod blocks dot string slab ingredient of items mod items dot gem string. And just like that, we added our slab. The next one, create. We don't have button. What do we have for button? I don't know. So I will come back here and I can do a speed search and I can search for button with capital B maybe. And we see no buttons being provided for us. So we have door recipes, pressure plates, signs, slabs, stairs, trapdoor even, cooking recipes, bulb, candle, chisel, compacting. And there is a difference between this creating and offering. But, well, you will learn it by yourself. There is a slight change here and there. I don't see anything actually. It shouldn't be there because we already searched for the word button. So we don't have. However, is it the end of the word? No. So I will put a comment there. I will come back to the buttons later. But we have the pressure plates recipe. Again, it needs a category. Now, pressure plates are redstone related stuff. So I will put it in the redstone category. Again, it needs an item. So mod blocks dot string pressure plate, and it needs ingredient. So ingredient of items mod items dot gem string. Okay. That's the pressure plates. Basically, fences should be the same deal. So fence recipe, again, it needs just the input and output. So I will copy this, and instead of stairs, it is the fence. So that's that. Duplicate it, fence gate recipes, and this will be fence gate. Duplicate it because I think we have a wall recipe here somewhere. No. Okay, what do we have? We want the door recipe. And again, it just asks for the items. So string door, and we have the trapdoor somewhere. So trapdoor, string trapdoor. Okay. So we have fences, fence gates, doors, trapdoors. However, again, we don't have wall. Now, if I hit wall, not here and maybe here, let's do a search. So we want wall. Get wall recipe. But we have offer wall recipe. So if we take a look at this one, it has the exporter, category, output, input. And get wall recipe is just category, output, input, and it's shaped recipe JSON builder.create. So basically, when we say offer, it is going inside the recipe provider. That is the provider we already have. And it is basically calling this. Normally, you should use the offer one. So we have offer wall recipe. And the very first param is exporter. Then the category, because it's wall again, I will use it, the building blocks. Then we have the item output. It mods blocks dot string wall. And it is an item this time, not ingredient. So mod items directly dot gem string. Okay, this is everything except buttons. Now for buttons, we should think, how do we make buttons inside vanilla? In vanilla, we put a plank, a wooden plank inside a shapeless recipe, and we get a button out. So why not doing it here? So we just add a shapeless recipe, because remember, all of these were sugar-coated stuff, isn't it? And we say the category is, again, the redstone one. We want the output to be mod blocks dot string button and one of that. The input is one single item, and that is mod items dot gem string. So wherever we have gem string, and we don't actually, let's see, mod blocks dot string button. Yeah, I will keep it as the shapeless just to be safe. So that is a button call for you. If at any time we find that we have the button here somewhere, in future. Then we can, of course, go and use it as much as we like and as much as we want. Right now, we don't have it. We are making the shapeless recipe ourselves. Now, if I look at the structure here for blast, offer blasting, okay? And that is, again, how you can use blasting. Offer smelting. This is when you would put smelting recipes inside your recipe data generator. And take a look. Here we are asking for list of inputs. So you should create a list of different items that should be convertible to a single ingot, for example, if you'd have different rows or different things. In our case, I will use a smelter. And now it's a good time to talk about vanilla recipes because if you remember, we can put one raw iron inside the furnace and get one iron ingot out of it in vanilla. If I want to disable this recipe, I have two different options. The very first option is using mixins. Now, mixins is advanced stuff, and we will come back to that later and we will learn about it. The other way that is easier is to go into your data, make a folder called Minecraft, and inside that, make a folder called recipes and find the recipe you want from the libraries inside net Minecraft merged inside data Minecraft recipes. For example, if I want iron, let's take a look at here we go, iron ingot from blasting or iron ingot from smelting. So iron ingot from smelting raw iron. It's a JSON. Now, if I copy these, come back up inside my own copy of the recipe subfolder under Minecraft, and I will paste them there, okay? Now, I will open my copy, and I will change it the way I want. Basically, what I want right now is I want to disable this recipe completely. Unfortunately, we don't have a no operation type, but I can do something. I can do that. I can say that, hey, it's resulting Minecraft error. So basically what I'm doing here is saying that, hey, if I put raw iron inside furnace, the result is air. And by default, when Minecraft sees the result as air, it won't do anything, okay? We will take a look at this in a minute, but right now, I will just make air for all of these JSONs. Now, this is iron ingot from nuggets. I don't have anything to do with that. This is, again, one iron block going in, 9 ingots coming out. I don't have anything to do with that. But blasting is, again, air. So basically, what I did is I nullified the smelting of raw iron or iron ore or deepest slate iron ore in furnace or blasting furnace. Basically what I did, I destroyed that recipe. Of course, from now on, whenever you run the game, you will get a warning that says, hey, air can't be used as the result. But that's exactly what we want. That warning is causing this recipe to fail. Okay, now if I want to change another recipe from vanilla, it's just as easy as coming back down, find something that I want to change, and then copy paste it there. For example, in my other mods, I have this stick recipe from vanilla being tweaked. So let's add it there. I will copy these two. I will paste it here. And it's just a vanilla item. However, I changed something really small here, the count. So if you put 2 planks on top of each other, you will get a single stick out of it. Nerfed it to hell. Same goes for bamboo. So if you put a bamboo somewhere in the crafting grid, because it's shaped, you will get one single stick out of it. Basically, I nerfed the counting on the result. Now, another example that I changed is the repeater. I will put these later as a whole inside the mod, but I want to show a few examples here. For example, Now I need to choose my own mod ID. Okay. Now this is a recipe for repeaters. Take a look. I'm using gear underline copper from my mod and plate underline stone from my mod. What I'm telling Minecraft is that, hey, now use my items instead of yours. And basically, my aim here is to make recipes a lot more expensive. For example, a cauldron. If you look at cauldron, it is asking for iron plates. And later, I know that when I go into machines, for creating one plate, I will need 4 iron ingots. Basically, if you remember, it was all iron ingots. So I'm multiplying that by 4, the amount of iron ingots that is needed, instead of being 7, is now 28. And a machine processing in the middle. Basically, I'm making Minecraft gameplay harder, more ingredient hungry, but not as terrifying as Greg Tech. So between these episodes, I will add tons of these recipes here, and I have to pay attention to my own mod IDs because it is changing between these two mods. And that is how you will change the Minecraft recipes. Now, the last thing remaining is that we need to generate the data and have a look inside Minecraft game. Okay, I just added underline for these two shapelesses. And now you see that under generated, we have a data folder, well, UIO, recipes. And here we have the different recipes that we provided so far. For example, tool, player, teleport, same pattern, same stuff from Minecraft or UIO. And name tag shapeless, leather from smoking, leather from campfire cooking. And then these are just the compression and decompression stuff. Okay. So now if we play the game now, we should note that first of all, we have our new recipes. And second of all, we should notice that we don't have the recipes from vanilla that we nullified. However, I noticed something, and that is apparently we didn't create the doors and stuff like that. I don't see them. We will take a look at in game. So let's go into the inventory, find our mod, and actually, there we go. If I use this and I will take a look at the use cases, I don't see the button recipe here. So if I go here and choose my own stuff, and we just added citrine, isn't it? So if I use U for use cases, or R actually for recipe, I don't see the recipe there. So let's take a look. It says item gem citrine goes in a block and the right button goes out. I missed the spellings there. So and the right, or here we go. A citrine will become and the right button. That's the wrong one, but no worries. So for doors, I don't see any recipes being added. Well, wall is working, and that's interesting. For fence, we just have the tags. For stairs, again, it's not working. For slabs, it's not working. So let's get few ingots out of here, shall we? Let's have a crafting table, and let's try to see what we have here. So if I put them like this, of course, I don't get the stairs. This is working. The wall is working. This is not working. This is not working. And this is not working. Now, if you take a look and if you notice, none of the recipes that we added and is using the create recipe call is working. However, the one that is using the affair is working. And look at the usage, and you see that it says iron ore is nothing. Okay, let's take a look at that. Maybe that is something that is missing. Okay, so let's go with iron. We want the iron ore, deep slate iron ore. We want some coal, and we need a furnace and a blast furnace. Okay, let's put that. Let's put that. Half of the coal there, half of the coal there. If I put iron there, it's not working. If I put tip slate iron but there, it's not working. So although if I take a look at these log files, somewhere I will see that it is yelling at me that, hey, air shouldn't be used as the recipe if I can find it. Well, apparently it's gone. I don't know. In the previous versions, I would see that warning that says, hey, air is not usable for crafting recipes, but either I'm missing it right now between these messages, or actually it is gone and it's not showing up anymore. So one way or another, we nullified that recipe, the stick. If I go and find the recipe, you see that bamboo is now giving one recipe, two planks is giving one recipe, one stick, and I nerfed that recipe successfully. Okay, what's the deal with the doors and other recipes? The offer is working. The shape and shapeless recipes are working. However, the ones that starts with create is not working. Now, it's actually really easy to understand. If you look, whenever we are doing shaped or shapeless JSON builder calls, we are adding this dot offer to. Now, take a look for the stairs, for example. We are returning a shaped create that has only the inputs and patterns, and that's it. We're just returning this on this method call. So we are not adding the criterions and we are not adding the offer to. However, the thing that we are returning is actually this part. Okay? Either it's shaped or shapeless. So we are adding that top part. So now we can say dot criterion and we can say has item. The item we want is items, or actually mod items dot gem string, and condition from item mod items dot gem string. And I need to take it one parenthesis out. And then at the end, we can just add it and say that get it from mod blocks dot string stairs. Okay. Now, if we run the data gen, notice we didn't have stairs. Let's run the data gen. And you see that now the stairs is being created and it's again a shaped recipe the way we were expecting it to be. Okay. So the main issue here was that we were neglecting these two lines. Okay, let's add them at the end of every one because this is easy now. We are making a slab out of the gem string, and the only thing that needs to be changed is the last part. So slab. The pressure plate. Now, what did I miss? I think there is a semicolon. Yes. And again, this is pressure plate, the fence gate, door, and finally trapdoor. So as you see, create means that we just get the recipe out, but we are not offering that JSON builder to the exporter so that the data generation will not notice that we have something like that. In other words, when you are using the create instead of offer, you have to put the criterions yourself. You have to put the offer yourself. Let's run the data generation one last time and take a look in the game. But before running the data gen, remember, we had a tiny mini issue. When I put the gem string, I want the string button out of it. So I had to fix this one. And now let's run the data gen. And there we go. Now we have the door, fence gate, pressure plate, slabs, stair, trapdoors, button, and wall where they were there. So now if we go back to the game and try, for sure we will have all these recipes ready for us, waiting to be played with. So inside the game, inside the world, and of course, we need some string. So now if I put like that, hey, we get 3 doors. Single one gives us the button. And this is again wrong item, but that's okay. We will fix that. This is a slab. And what was the fence gate recipes? I forgot. So let's go in here and take a look for recipes. That's that. For trapdoors, it's 6. For the wall, it's again 6. So we have a problem, don't we? Because if I put 6 citrines like that, I'm not sure. Yeah, it goes for the wall. So we don't have a way to get the trapdoors by citrine itself. And for the wall, we may want to change the recipe. What if we put 2 of these and, I don't know, 4 of these, something like that. Or actually, maybe 6 of these will make the wall. That is a better choice for me. Okay, so the wall needs to be changed, and that's an easy one because instead of mod items, we go with mod blocks and we go with citrine fence. So 6 citrine fences will make a wall. Okay, then we go with the pressure plate. That was the wrong one. And the right pressure plate, that this should be citrine. And that's that one. Other than these 2 errors, I think we are good. So we just now need to create our JSON files one last time. And that would be it. So basically, right now we learned about the reversal compressions, the food and cookers and smokings, shaped, shapeless, using the create methods and offered ones. And basically, if you look into the class and methods, you will be able to create most of the items that you want inside crafting grids using one of these. And the only thing is the smelting recipes, again, they are just an offer smelting, offer blasting. Instead of a single ingredient, they need a list of items as inputs, and that's it. Other than that, we took note on how to nerf, nullify, or change the vanilla recipes using JSON files provided by Minecraft. And remember, all of them are inside the data folder under Minecraft recipes. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun, everyone. Bye.